Hoi hoi chummers, this is Dan, the GM of What the Dice. But enough about me, you want to meet our runners, so sit back, let's meet them.
Hi, I'm Jared, and I play P. Dexter, the Decker Doc that knows no bounds.
I'm Ethan, and I play Cypher, the Street Samurai, and I've got an axe and a pun, and I know how to use both.
Hey guys, Nightland here, and I play Sparkles, that satyr that never stops smiling and has an attitude as loud as her grenades. Listener discretion advised. Content warning level, green. Standard Shadowrun subject matter, foul language, sex, violence, drugs. For all of our content warning, none of these subjects go into graphic detail, but it is involved in the story of the episode. Listener discretion advised.
As the camera fades in, we find ourselves in the Renraku Arcology. It's mid-afternoon, maybe late afternoon. We look out and we can see the sun setting over on the dock side, painting the sky in this pink and blue hue. Or we're looking at an LED screen of the sunset. We're not really sure, because we look around and we're just in an office. We don't know whose office, and we probably really don't care. The thing that catches our eye is the whiteboard. A series of names, ranks, IQ, amount of cyberware, and what colleges they attended. We watch and look and look. No one we really know until we see Simon's name. We study it for a moment, and we see he's actually pretty smart. He's got a nice high IQ. Went to the Golden City University, graduated top of his class in cybernetic R&D. Why is he working in HR? We have to ask ourselves. We continue to look at the board, and then we start to notice something's different. It looks as if there's different handwriting. Then we see on the same line that Simon's name's on, possible transfer. Maybe Simon's moving up. Maybe his little hopes and dreams of being that Renraku star might come to fruition. Well, as we kind of smile and reach for the door handle, the speaker built into the ceiling statics. Hoi hoi chummers, Eddie Sparks here. So, yeah, Eddie's got the vehicle, is getting fixed, and that is coming at you from my fortified bunker hidden out in, well, can't tell you. One day, Eddie might tell you where this fortified bunker is so that whomever decides to come take what Eddie leaves, they'll be more than welcome to it. There's all sorts of pay data I never used and a couple other things that could make a runner just slightly better. Better gear, better weapons. You never know what you'll find in the shadows here in this bunker. For these walls have ears. So, what has the team been up to? They got themselves a sweet little pad, and they are getting it all decked out. And then, the call. That's right, my friend. They got themselves lined up a sweet job working for a star. Pop stars are easy money, my friend. Take them from point A, point B, keep them out of trouble. Not gonna say it's a milk run, but it's some easy cash. Especially if you got the right connections. But, that ain't for a couple of days, so they've got to make good on a couple of things that they promised themselves. They gotta hook up with a couple of contacts and take care of some downtime problems. Sometimes some of the best work comes to you when you least expect it. So, stay tuned. Let's see what those runners are up to. We come back, and the apartment, condo, safe house, whatever term you choose to deem it, has been fully furnished. You have a couch, a love seat, a chair, a trio, a table, a dining set. You even have actual plastic cutlery, not the cheap stuffer shack plastic, but the plastic that's actually washable. The fridge is stocked full of all essentials. Microwavable food, and more microwavable food. Your soy dispensers are packed to capacity, and you even have some extras just in case of an emergency. Dexter, you have already taken the time to set up all of the security systems, so you have them all synced up, and everyone on your team has a feed that they can log into and see what's going on.
Right on.
Nice.
So it is now later in the evening. What would you all like to do?
I think this place is coming together nicely, guys.
I agree.
Yeah, I like it.
As far as what we'd like to do,
We got now until Friday until we have any kind of job.
yeah,
Sparkles will put her hands on her hips going, well, do we want to go pay that Stuffer Shack guy a visit? I mean,
yeah, we still need to go do that. Yeah, good idea.
do we want to do that tonight, tomorrow?
No time like the present.
Yeah, that's fair.
See, I don't think they said a time not to show up, so...
It's a Stuffer Shack.
True, but I was referring more to the person that we're supposed to be going and seeing.
Oh, well, they didn't really give a time.
No, they didn't.
All right, well, back to the Batmobile?
Yeah,
Is that what we're calling it now?
I have no idea.
she just said stuff and I'm not.
Fair.
They're working out pretty well.
Alright, then I guess to the Batmobile, guys.
I mean, we could call it the Trollmobile, the Elfmobile, the Satyr-mobile. We could put horns on it, decorative horns.
I'm not completely against that idea.
It just means we stick out a little more.
Yeah, yeah.
I know, we can, like, hook it up to where it's like a button so we can, like, raise and lower them.
No.
All right.
Good idea. We'll think on it.
As you guys load into the car and make it's about a 15-20 minute drive down towards the southernmost section of the Golden City, where the warehouses become more sparse and we see the more down and out section of the Golden City. It's still nice, but it is older. You find this Stuffer Shack. The windows have bars on them, but they are painted and between glass, so it still has this safe look to it. You see advertisements for all the newest Stuffer Shack treats, the Soy-Ritos, the soy tacos, as well as all the new soda flavors that are coming out, as well as the new comlinks and all this other miscellaneous bull dreck that gets peddled at all the Stuffer Shacks. What would you all like to do?
Oh, he's hopping out of the car.
Man, you guys excited for the new soy tacos coming?
I'm always... I like to judge a Stuffer Shack based off of their soy nachos.
You know, that is probably the best way to choose it.
Mm-hmm.
I can't even come up with a rebuttal not to do that.
And now I'm just hungry.
Well, I bought breakfast, so who's picking up dinner?
I can do dinner, I guess.
Sounds great. Hey, speaking of which, this Billy Reese guy, he's got a smart fucking mouth, and I don't like it.
Yeah?
What'd he do to
He
you?
keeps calling me Boobala.
What does that even mean?
I don't know, but it's annoying.
You have the computer at your disposal. You could always look it up.
That would be more effort than I'm willing to put into it.
Yeah, but now it's just going to sit there and fester in your head.
Yeah, now Sparkles is gonna look it up.
He also said we were scum.
Scum? Well, shit, we should have been charging him $6,500 then.
Yeah, right? 500 just for insulting us.
Well, I added an extra 500 because she's an elf. So,
I mean, that works out.
Nice.
you guys know my healthy distaste for my own species.
thought you had a healthy distaste for just about everyone but trolls.
Yeah, I guess that's fair.
Hey, we all got something in common. We all love the trolls. And she walks into the stuffer shack.
The chime on the Stuffer Shack door tinks in this computerized circuitry bell dreck. Inside, there are people shopping, passing through different aisles, picking up items. You hear a woman hushing her child as he cries for the treat that he is reaching out for. You also see a couple of punk kids sitting off in the corner playing one of the arcade games. It is a fairly quiet and fairly nice Stuffer Shack.
Hey, this shack don't look too shacky.
I know, kind of surprising.
Just so, is it my treat to all-you-can-eat Stuffer Shack, or do we want to actually, go somewhere? Because if not, I'm hitting up the nachos.
Wouldn't it be you're testing this place to see if their food is even acceptable?
I mean, we can hit up the nachos first. Use it as an appetizer.
All right, I'm down for nacho appetizers.
All right.
Sounds good to me.
All right. I'm going to find a little kitchen area over here.
In the back corner where the smell of oil reigns supreme, you see a couple of plastic clean tables, and you also see behind the counter the oil racks, a couple of staff members working on cleaning some of the oil, as things in this Stuffer Shack are actually fairly calm.
Dexter, you joining in on the nacho-tizers?
Yeah, where you at?
Over here by the tables.
Oh, okay.
This is their kitchen.
Yeah, I'll come sit down. I was just wandering aisles looking.
I mean, by all means, go ahead, meander. It's going to take them a minute or two to get the nachos going. What you want to drink?
Some type of pop.
All right. Sparkles will be ordering up 3 Nacho Supremes for us. Just go grab me a cream soda or something. Not unless they got a dispenser of one over here.
A Bavarian cream shake, you want one of those?
Hey, you know what? It worked in a pinch. Not the best cup of coffee. But I've had worse.
Hey, I just know you loaded up with enough sugar to knock down a troll, so I tried to mimic what you did.
It takes a lot of energy keeping my fur as pretty as it is. As she playfully, gently brushes the fur on her arm.
As you all are chatting, we hear the chime of the door, and we see 4 gangers walk in, brightly dressed in pinks and yellows. The main leader, a troll, holds a shotgun in the air, and we hear the sound of a bullet rack into the chamber and fire.
Well, my friends. I think I need to interrupt this story real quick. So, every runner's got a story, right? You wouldn't be a runner if you didn't have a story. And every good story starts somewhere. Like a good book. Now, speaking of books, Eddie found this book about a year ago. It's an old book. Pages of vellum, binding of iron, wrapped in leather. And it's old. And it's got some fancy words in there like these and thous and, all that dreck. But it's a story. It's not just one story, my friends. It is all the stories. All the heroes, all the villains, and everything in between. Their stories. The who, the what, the where, the why. And Eddie's always wondered the why of a lot of things. But I want to give you a tidbit, a little hidden notation in the marks of history. Now, Sparkles is a strange cat, you know what I mean? Keeps a headgear on, you don't know what she looks like. We know she's got a family. She's always riding around in fancy VTOLs. And she's got more grenades than a 4th of July celebration. Explosives, whatever. So, what drives her? What makes her do what she do? Well, Eddie's doing a little bit more digging, but I think I found out one part. So, stay tuned, my friends. Stay tuned.
Sparkles, you have this sense of deja vu, and you're not sure where it's from. But as the shotgun blast rings out, you feel yourself in a different place, more of like a memory. It's a long distance memory, at least in the sense of it's been a couple of years. And you find yourself in a familiar club. You've been at this club probably a half dozen times in the last year, between hanging out with Silver, hanging out with the Ravens, and maybe even some other people that you know. It's the Neon Owl.
Tried and true Neon Owl.
Yes. It is trance night. So there is that sound of heavy bass and the tried and true techno that every club has, that one techno night. As you look around, you see a lot of familiar faces, but in this memory, they don't seem as familiar. You kind of remember that bartender's name. You met them only just, 30 minutes ago. And as you look around, you see a couple of faces that you haven't seen in a while. You see a human who is dressed in this crimson suit. He has this $1 million smile. He's got the high-end cybernetic eyes and that golden pinky ring on his pinky. His hair is jet black and slicked back. As he is laughing and joking around, your eyes pan over and you see two elves. They are identical. Everything from the cyberware to their weapons to the way they hold themselves. Then you see, sitting next to you, a smaller, scrawnier looking satyr. He is dressed in the same armored clothing that most runners wear, except you see a lot of hand-stitched runes and symbols and little magical trinkets that decorate his hips. They are all laughing and joking as the human face reaches forward and kind of snaps. Hey, Sparkles, you there? Hello?
Yeah, sorry.
You're right. I mean, I know that run was long, but come on, hun, it's a party. We won. We got what we needed.
I know. I just know you guys are going to be heading out of town. I'm going to miss you. Wish you could stay.
Look, Golden City's a nice place, but the satyr kind of interjects.
But it is really hard to get work when the corporations want everyone bagged and tagged and licensed. I mean, what kind of crap is that?
I know, it's something new. It's not like it's really in effect. They're trying and failing.
Yeah, well, maybe the law won't pass. I mean, the mayor doesn't seem too thrilled with it.
I mean, even if it did pass, how are they gonna enforce it?
Ego, the human, you know him as Ego, leans back at his bar stool, taking a swig from his sipping whiskey, and chuckles. Look, where there's Nguyen, there's a way. And we all know that that's what's going to happen, is the corporations are going to just start tossing money out to get it to work. I mean, as he's talking, one of the twins taps her hand on the table. They're going to use the guard. The other one chimes in. Yeah, because, they're easier. They're already trained. They can track pretty quick. The satyr is looking down at his comm.
Yeah, well, the runners have networks.
As he looks over,
You did get a ShadowNet login, right? You did get a Decker to get you in there, right?
Yeah, I'm on ShadowNet.
Good.
the human Ego laughs. Alright, look, run's done. We are gonna have a chance to relax. Now, I know you're a baby runner, so let's talk shop. What you want to know?
I mean, I know how to, like, I got a fixer, right, to get work, and I know about the shadow net to also look for stuff. How do you get a good team? Like, how did you guys find each other?
The satyr just gives a light shrug as he head nods towards Ego.
Ego and I grew up together.
Ego looks at the two elves and went, I dated her, then I dated her.
So just kind of stumbled into one another, huh?
Yeah, I mean, when I first started running, I was also working for the corpse. I was working for Seda Crew, learning how to, market weapons and stuff like that. The twins, Buzz and Saul, they're old street fight gangs. They used to work in the demo ball. And pinball? Yeah, pinball and I go way back. And he just went to magical college and learned what he just flings mojo. And you haven't met our Decker. Our Decker stayed in where we're from.
Okay, yeah, that's fair.
But yeah, sometimes it's just right place, right time. Sometimes it's just, you kind of have to wheel and deal. I mean, sometimes you can pay to keep a team together. You make enough new yen, you kind of want to stick together, stuff like that.
Alright, that's fair.
I mean, come on, pup. How long have you been running?
I think technically you guys are like, I don't know, my third official run.
Okay. You got any friends that are runners? Or were runners?
No, not yet. Just the people I've done a couple of runs with. So, like, you guys, and there was a couple other runners. I mean, I know some retired runners, and they've been, helping me. That's why I know what the shadow net is, and, why I already have a Johnson, or not, a fixer.
No, well, at least, you've got some kind of support network. Get your feet under you.
Yeah, and I have a really close friend that's a very skilled decker, but she's not a runner. She's just a very good decker. So she helps me out, but she ain't a runner.
He taps his head, like indicating your goggles. That's what's with the gear.
Yeah, also, identity.
Alright. Yeah.
I don't need my actual face out there.
Yeah, when we first met you, we figured you weren't ogged out or anything.
No ogs. I just wear the gear.
Yeah. Pinball assessed you just to see what kind of cyberware you had, and the dreads and the horns, and we were pretty sure you were gonna end up like a street Sam, and Pinball, as he's talking, Pinball just kind of shrugs.
Yeah, you definitely got a spark about you, but no loss of essence, that's for sure.
Yeah, no, I don't need the ogs.
Ego chuckles. So, what else you got for us, question-wise? I mean, you proved yourself good. I'm gonna make sure I at least give you some kind of part in knowledge from my experience.
She goes, okay. How do you know? What are the corps that definitely stay away from, or like the big red flags of like no-goes?
The four of them kind of look at each other, and Ego seems to take the lead. So the big Big Ten that are just nationwide.
Yeah.
It's hit or miss with them. I would just be careful. Some of their Johnsons are on the up and up, but if you get that tingle in the back of your head, like something don't feel right, there's a good chance something ain't right.
Trust it. Trust that tingle.
The twins laugh about it, calling it the runner sense, but I think it's just experience.
It's alright. What's your favorite? What would be the one piece of gear you would recommend? Like, if you were to put the new yen down on this thing, what would it be?
Ego kind of shifts and opens up his jacket, and you see his pistol. It is clearly a fully customized pistol that is a revolver. He pats it. A good piece is always a good way to get you out of trouble. The twins kind of nod at that with the, yeah, that's an agreeable. But when you look over at Pinball, he is shuffling through his charms, and he pulls out one. He goes,
A focus. For mages, a good focus. So it just depends on what you're trying to do. I mean, Ego's got it right. Sometimes the best offense, sometimes the best defense is the best offense. Or whatever the words are.
Yeah, I figured a good piece or good armor.
one of the twins, you're not sure which one because they are identical in every way, kind of slaps you on the back lightly. Well, you're pretty good with a shotgun. Maybe get yourself one of those Mossenbergs, one of those really nice shotguns. They're automatics. You don't have to rack a shot every time.
Yeah, this run's gonna help with that. You know, everybody has the starting out stuff and then the stuff they get.
Yeah. And keep ammo with you, like spare ammo. Like, there's the rules of running. Stick to the shadows, always keep your gun loaded.
And never make a deal with a dragon.
Hey, everyone, this is Dan, the GM, bringing you the mid-roll. So, Nightland and I are still looking at cons that are in our area to go out, hang out, and meet not only new listeners, but old listeners. So if you find yourselves in Texas and you listen to the show, keep your ears out. Whenever I know what cons we're going to, we will be posting it here in our Discord and on our social medias. Speaking of social medias, don't forget to follow us on Twitter, on Blue Sky, on YouTube. We even have a Discord if you want to come hang out with the cast. Speaking of hanging out with the cast, I do want to thank our 3 Patreon subscribers. A Relic, Ethan, and Lady Lumi. Thank you so much for your continued support. Every dollar you get, I give right back to the show on getting new equipment for players if their headsets are going out, as well as the subscriptions we use to produce the show and to do all of the gaming part, because we pay for Foundry. Now, that's enough about us. I want to talk about this promo. There's this show I have been listening to called No Latency. It is Cyberpunk or Cyberpunk Red, I don't remember which one, but that's not the point. They are an amazing show, and you definitely want to check them out if you like our show. What they're running is a Cyberpunk game. It is pretty much Shadowrun without the magic. And their GM tells an amazing story, and he has an amazing cast that works with him. Definitely go check them out. They are definitely worth the listen. Speaking of a listen, let's check out their promo.
No Latency Season 2 has begun, Night City has changed, and Domino is back.
A good thing we're not collecting vending machines anymore.
The crew are once again on the trail of a mystery.
You ever been to space?
Iona has new burdens.
Why do I recognize the plane?
Retro tackles new challenges.
An elevator that works in an apartment building.
And Jeb, well, Jeb is just Jeb.
Bust down this door. Oh, no, sorry. Let's knock on
But
it.
now they have a medtech on board, Vivi.
I'm Vivi. I've heard good things about you.
Together they'll blaze all over Night City and beyond.
Woo! Road trip, here we go!
To discover memories forgotten.
You are the only thing I remember. Help.
And new places to explore.
We have to go to the Glass District.
To uncover a plan that's bigger than anything they've ever seen before.
What else can you tell me about this wonderful compound that you've got here?
This season, the crew and Domino are taking back Night City.
Alright, it's gonna be a tough one.
And then we get in the pod and we rescue Retro.
No Latency, a Cyberpunk Red roleplay podcast. New episodes every Wednesday wherever you listen to Preem podcasts. See you in Night City.
So if that sounds up your alley, don't forget, take a look down in the descriptions. I've got their links to their Linktree, which gets you all of their social medias and everywhere you can find them. And that is all I have for this mid-roll. Thank you so much for your continued support. Don't forget to give us a rating, a review, and a follow on YouTube. It takes only a couple of seconds for you, but it means the world to us, and that's all I got. So I'm going to get you back to the show. Thank you again for all your continued support, and I hope to see you at some point, either on Discord or maybe in person when we get back to doing cons. Enjoy the show.
Have you guys ever actually run across a dragon?
Ego starts to chuckle as he goes, Yeah, I've had to break that rule a couple of times.
Really?
Now, not all dragons are bad. I had the chance to meet Dunkelzahn once before he was president. I wasn't a runner at the time. I was still young and dumb. I got to meet him. But yeah, no, I've made my deals with dragons. You just got to be super careful. Most of the stuff I did with the dragons were on the up and up. It was when I was working with the corpse. But as a runner, not yet. Hopefully not ever, but not yet.
Ah, so that was the before your runner life.
Yeah, the before time. Back when this $1 million Nuyen or million Nuyen smile was like a $500 million Nuyen smile.
That's fair. Well, before the night ends and I forget, I'm starting to think. Can I get all of your guys' runner autographs?
The twins look at you kind of like, what the hell?
She goes, okay, look, like, I've known about runners all my life. I'm a big fan of them. It's kind of like, you know, everybody has that thing that they're interested in, or like somebody collects stupid baseball cards or whatever. I can't take pictures of everybody, so I'm curious if I could, like, all the runners I've come across and said hey to, I want to, like, collect their autograph.
The twins look at Ego, who seems to be more of like the leader of the group, and he's like, yeah. Go get yourself a notebook and a pen. We'll sign it for you.
I already got one in my bag.
So Ego signs first, and his signature is big and very calligraphy. Buzz and Saw, it's very kind of a sloppily written. And you can tell Buzz has slightly better handwriting than Saw, but not by much.
All right.
And Pinball signs his runner name. It's kind of a flourished signature, more like it looks like a trained cursive.
All right. Now, would they stop to take notice of the other couple of signatures she has in there?
Yeah.
They would see Motorhead, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then, who else would it be?
You would have Nitro,
Motorhead, Turbo, and then like the other two runners that she's like done some with.
Lunatic, Bullseye, and Porky.
All right, that's a good one.
Funny thing is Porky is actually a gnome that was a drone op that was actually very slender.
Oh, that's great. So what do they say or do anything seeing her other signatures?
Ego looks at the list and he's like, you know Motorhead, huh?
Yeah, I know him.
You know the rest of his crew?
Some of them, but not all of them. I mean, I know all their names, but I haven't met all of them.
Well, if you ever meet Glacier, tell him that Ego says hey.
Okay, you used to run with him?
I ran across him. Let's just say I got to meet the business end of his pistol, and I was smart enough to lay my head down and surrender. I was a corp.
That's fair. Well, I mean, if you ever want to go say hi to Motorhead, he runs Motor Haven in town.
Nah, we gotta head out to the airport here soon.
Yeah, well, you know, if you're ever back in town.
Yeah. Sparkles, as you're talking, your screen pops up and you see this like little ticker tape with Silver's avatar dancing across it. You see like, you know, game scores that like she's basically streaming you her gaming scores and stuff like that for whatever raid she's doing. And then she literally starts to flash her screen red and you see a message pop up.
Alright.
And instead of it just being a text message, you actually hear her saying what's in the message.
Hey, I know you're doing that run crap, but listen, something just came across the net that I don't know what it is. I can't get into ShadowNet. I'm not at home. Apparently there's something called a runner raid. This is the third one. If you got any runners around you might want to ask what's going on.
They'll, the group that she's with will see all of a sudden, you know, instead of sitting back being relaxed in the chair, she actually kind of slowly sits up and has that like slight head tilt and then goes, "Hey guys, do you know anything called a runner raid?"
Ego stops, grabs his comm link, flips it open, sees the same red screen with the word runner raid coming across it as he looks at the twins and he goes, "We got a raid. We got to go."
"Where are we going?"
He looks at you and goes, "Okay, nitty gritty, short and sweet. Runner raids are the thing that we were talking about. You know how the corporations are trying to get things together?
Yeah.
Yeah, this is that.
Alright, so book it.
Run." Give me a perception check.
2 hits.
With 2 hits, you happen to glance around and you see a lot of people that are glancing at their comm links and you see that same red screen. And all of a sudden, it's not chaos. It's just very skilled runners that have this movement are starting to just make towards exits. Like, just calmly, but in that brisk motion. Buzz and Saw literally turn to leave as you hear the sounds of sirens surrounding. As Buzz and Saw look at you and go, "Run."
Got it.
You watch as Pinball raises his hand up, snaps his finger, and just disappears. Buzz and Saw take off, weapons drawn, and literally cut through what looks like a section of wall that's weak. As Ego goes, "You got my number. If I'm in town, I'll call. Don't get caught."
Gotcha. Take care. Bye.
As you watch Ego flip out of his chair down to the dance floor and takes off running into the crowd.
I am going to, because she knows the city, is actually going to take off to the roof because everybody's going to be exiting on the ground floor probably.
Okay.
So she's going to find the exit that goes up.
You get into one of the storage rooms and you find a ladder that's marked roof access.
Yup, going up.
As you get up, you luck out that the top lock is not locked. As you pop up, you see a couple of the staff actually smoking up on the roof. They just kind of look at you weird as you pop up and they're like, "Hey, you're not supposed to be up here."
Oh, I'm not listening to them at all, and I'm seeing where's the closest roof for me to jump to.
You see a couple of roofs that are close enough by that you could make the jump if you did a roll at the end. But the other thing you notice is that there's a couple of VTOLs that are passing pretty low that have berries and cherries flashing. If you timed it right, you could probably actually hopscotch off one of those.
Yeah, we're going to play the hopscotch game, but she's also going to turn all her neon off, so she's just black.
Okay. So let's start with an acrobatics roll.
Or gymnastics, rather.
Yeah, gymnastics. One of these days I will get that right.
These days.
No, I won't. We all know that's a lie.
Only one success.
With one success, you land on the VTOL, but it seems like they bank hard, so you're going to have to make another gymnastics roll to make that next jump.
3 successes.
You land with ease as you hit this other roof. It's slick from the rain. You slide and you're able to build up momentum as you are now able to get away a little bit, but it looks like there are a couple of VTOLs that have turned and threw a spotlight towards you. The spotlight's not on you, but it is towards you.
Alright, so this is where the possibly urban, survival urban comes into play of knowing where to duck and hide.
Yep.
Alright, she's gonna find probably like an AC unit, or maybe there's like a small canopy of something, chimney to hide behind. 3 successes to dodge that spotlight.
With 3 successes, it's not hard for you to slide underneath an AC unit that's up on racks. That's, those steel beams that hold it up. You slide underneath that as the first spotlight passes. Then a second spotlight passes, and it seems like you are in the clear to make your next move.
Alright, she knows better than to travel in a straight line, even though that is the fastest, so she's going to see the next closest roof to go to the left or the right, away from where all those berries and cherries are.
It looks like the best route to go is to head towards the warehouse district. There's several buildings that are built close enough to where you can kind of hopscotch down till you get to floor level, and then you can make a run via street line.
Yeah. She'll parkour her way across a couple more buildings to where she finds, like, you know, those fire exits to go down.
Okay, then give me that gymnastics.
2 successes.
With 2 successes, you are running, you jump, you slide, and you are able to use that slide as momentum to hopscotch over a building edge. Roll me your edge real quick.
2 successes on an edge.
As you land, you watch as a spotlight literally passes right where you were, missing you. What would you like to do?
Is there a way down yet?
At any point, you could jump off the buildings and try for a landing.
She's gonna give it that healthy second, make sure it's not another spotlight, you know, see the pattern or see if they move on before jumping off to the next building.
Roll me a perception.
There is a time to wait and there is a time to run. 6 successes.
6 successes. You are able to memorize the movement of these VTOLs. It seems like they are mostly focused on the area immediately around, like they are trying to capture people. You see off in the distance a couple people that are being arrested or at least detained, but at a quick glance you can see them, you know, there's a woman in a short red miniskirt and sequenced top. It's clear she's not a runner. So it looks like they are literally just arresting anyone they can get their hands on to question.
Alright, can she see some fellow runners possibly, like, about to get caught from where she's at?
Give me another perception check.
4 successes.
With 4 successes, you actually see Buzz and Saw turn a corner that you know is a dead end, and they turn around, and it looks like there are a handful of Golden City guards, about 3 of them, that are moving towards them, and you see Buzz and Saw extend their blades.
She's going to throw one of her smoke grenades down there. And does she have anything or maybe see anything around, like a nice good rope to give them or a ladder to drop for them to climb up?
Well, one of the things you would remember, since you have eidetic memory, is they made the comment of the first AUG they ever got, or first cyberware they ever got, was flare comp, because they had been flash bombed so many times.
Ah, and she has flash grenades. She's gonna definitely set, you know, that smoke grenade, but then chuck one over at the Golden City Guard for a flashbang.
Okay, just roll me your thrown weapon, aerodynamic.
4 successes.
All right, the smoke bomb lands exactly where you want it, and did you want to do the flash as well?
Yep.
All right, do it again.
5 successes.
Both of those grenades land exactly where you want them, and you can hear the slight tink as they land, followed by the strobing and the smoke that goes off. You can see on the group message that is still connected between you and them a quick thumbs up emoji as they take off running. As they pass, you can hear the sounds of them knocking someone out. You know, that quick, they're gonna get their shot in when they can.
Yeah, that nice boom.
Yeah. Now, since you've thrown something, I need you to roll a sneaking to see if you can get away with ducking down before any other VTOLs pass.
Ooh, 4 successes.
4 successes, and you get it. With a quick duck down, you see a VTOL pass over with that spotlight, trying to figure out where those grenades were thrown from. You do have an opening to run again if you wish to take it.
Yep, going to take that opening. She knows not to stay hunkered down for too long.
Alright, roll me a...
Running or gymnastics?
Either way, how do you want to do it? You could either do the gymnastic-y bits, or you can just take off at a full sprint.
Parkour!
Alright, parkouring then.
3 successes.
With 3 successes, you make a landing and you misjudge it just a little bit as you slide off a slanted roof and you pass through one of those canopies that are left out to catch rain. You land on your butt without taking any damage, but there's still that, like, crap, I'm now on the ground level.
Alright, but do I know where I'm at?
Roll me a knowledge Golden City.
1 success.
You kind of know you're at least near the warehouse district. You know that there is one of those, like, what are they? The drain lines you would have the roadways that pass over the massive draining canals.
Mm-hmm.
You know that there's a massive drain canal nearby that you could take at a full sprint and get there. But you're starting to hear the sounds of shouting and foot stomps as you're seeing some of these Golden City guards running towards you.
Yeah, so she's gonna book it to that drain area then, I guess? Is probably her best route?
Yep. So
Alright.
roll me a running.
2 successes.
They are gaining on you slowly.
Smoke grenades?
You can smoke grenade.
Smoke grenade at a convenient, like, 4-way or a split where you have to go which way. She's gonna see if she can, like, when she comes up to a split, drop the grenade there so they might lose her.
Out of the group of 4 of them, you've lost 2 of them. So
All right.
2 are still hot on your tail. But you can do another run roll if you wish.
1 success.
1 success, you cut a corner and you take off at a full sprint, and you can almost feel these guys like grabbing at you. Like you could feel the tips of your dreads getting hit as they're reaching for you. All of a sudden, they stop as you're about to cross one of these bridges. They just full out stop running.
Oh, I'm fucking crossing that bridge. I don't give 2 shits.
Okay. As you go running across this bridge, you go head on, and are you looking behind you to make sure they're not following you?
No, she knows better than that, and she would hear the footsteps. Because
Yeah.
also her visor has 360, so she could see if they stopped.
As you go running and you turn and you take off running at that full out sprint, as you make it across this bridge, there's a shadowy figure that steps out from the shadows. Please roll me your reaction.
1 success.
You can't stop. You are at a full out sprint as you plow face first into a set of troll abs. You could smell the leather, the rain, and as you slowly look up, you see this massive troll with 2 large shotguns on his back. And he is just looking down at you with a raised eyebrow.
She'll look up at him, and then quickly for the moment look back over her shoulder to see if those guards are still coming.
Those guards are pulling out their pistols and are pointed shakingly at him as he just snorts as he reaches back and unhooks both the shotguns and slides them into his hands.
Well, she'll get up and pull out her shotgun and stand right next to him, slightly behind him, with her shotgun pointed at the Golden City guards.
The 2 guards look at each other. One of them reaches up to say something into a radio, and they slowly put their pistols up and back away, disappearing into the remainder of that smoke that is still clinging to the air from your smoke grenades.
Alright, seeing that they're disappearing, she'll lower her shotgun, kind of keep an eye, and as long as they stay pretty much away or don't come back, after about a minute and catching her breath, she'll just look up to this big troll and be like, "Thanks, handsome."
He smirks as he holds out his large hand.
Name's Riot.
She'll have a nice shit-eating grin on her face and go, "Sparkles, nice to meet ya."
He smirks as he shakes your hand, and for a moment, everything just sort of pauses as the world slowly fades away as we end this episode and this flashback.
Now, if that don't beat all, it seems as if our little runner friend, Sparkles, actually made herself quite a couple of friends before running with this crew. Seems as if she also has a strange penchant for getting signatures of runners. What kind of runner does that? I mean, it's weird. And I'm not talking like the Rusty Pickle weird. I'm talking just like, does she think they're celebrities? Like, what's the deal? Eddie wants to know. Eddie needs to find out. Sparkles, if you're listening, I do request you send me a message on the shadows. Let me know why you collect signatures and why you haven't asked for Eddie's. I mean, come on. But that's not the point. The point is we got a chance to see what it was like with Sparkles back before she got with the team. A glimpse of what made her do what she does. She also showed that she has a penchant for a little thing called fracking around and finding out. So, let's just see how cocky she is as her runner career continues on. I'm curious on where she's gonna end up. Be it at the top of the charts or 6 feet under. Only time will tell. Well, unfortunately, that's all the time Eddie has for now. For the little button is a flashing, telling me the spiders are on my trail. Well, as always, my friends, let us remember the rules of running. Stick to the shadows. Always keep your gun loaded. And never make a deal with a dragon. I'm Eddie Sparks, and I am signing out.
Hey everyone, Nightland here, co-creator of What the Dice, and player of Sparkles for Season 2, to do some thank yous here at the end of our episode. First and foremost, I would like to thank each and every single one of you for listening. We would not be here today without you, and I do mean that sincerely. We never thought we would get this far, and knowing that there's someone out there, yeah, I'm talking to you, the one with the earballs listening right now. If it wasn't for you guys and us knowing that you're actually here and enjoying what you're listening to, we wouldn't have kept going, and it genuinely fills our heart with joy, and I want to make sure that we tell you every single time at the end of these episodes. We are eternally grateful. Second, we would like to take a moment to thank all the things that we use in our day-to-day What the Dicey ways. First up, Epidemic Sound for our sound effects and music, Podbean for being our host, Foundry VTT, and Forge VTT for creating their virtual tabletop gaming applications and services, Craigbot for our recordings, Catalyst Game Labs for Shadowrun, which is the current system we are running. And with that, if you can spare a moment of effort and want to help us out, the best thing that you can do is honestly, tell a friend, share us, drop a link in a Discord somewhere that you're a part of, or take that 2-second effort of hitting a like, hitting a follow, giving us a star rating. Whatever the button is on whatever it is that you're listening to us on goes a long way in helping us fight that horrible algorithm monster. Also, the Topps Company Inc. has sole ownership of the names, logo, artwork, marks, photographs, sound, audio, video, and or any proprietary material used in the connection with the game Shadowrun. The Topps Company Inc. has granted permission to What the Dice to use such names, logos, artwork, marks, and or any proprietary material for the promotional and informational purposes on its website, but does not endorse and is not affiliated with What the Dice in any official capacity whatsoever. We got now until Friday until we have any kind of job.
You also have a contact that you need to go
I was
meet.
getting there. Let us get there.
All right, sorry, I can't tell.
Yeah, damn.
You tell him.
I know, right?
Little meaty head.
I know, I'm a big old meanie head. He keeps pushing it along. What if I wanted it to be a natural?